The greatest illusions in history are not crafted by magicians. They are engineered by central banks and enshrined in fiscal policy. We are told that money is a neutral medium of exchange, a fair scoreboard of value. That is a comforting myth. In reality, the financial world operates under a set of hidden commandments, unspoken laws that dictate how wealth inevitably flows from the many to the few. These are not written statutes. They are patterns of human behavior and institutional design, tested and proven across 5 millennia of collapsed empires and financial panics. If the system feels like a game you were never taught to play, it is because the instruction manual was hidden long ago. Understanding these forgotten laws, the geology of money, is the only way to protect your financial future from the tectonic shifts of history. Our journey into this hidden manual begins with the dual dynamics of currency failure. The first is Gresham's law. Bad money drives out good money. This principle, articulated by Sir Thomas Gresham to Queen Elizabeth I, is a universal law of incentives. Imagine 2 glasses of water, one clean, one polluted. You drink the polluted water first, saving the clean water for later. Money behaves the same way. When rulers introduce debased currency, coins with less silver or gold, or paper printed faster than the economy grows, people quickly recognize the difference. They use the bad currency to pay taxes and debts, while hoarding the good currency or converting it into hard assets like gold, land, or commodities. Rome demonstrated this perfectly as the silver content of the denarius declined. Citizens paid obligations with debased coins while secretly melting down pure ones or converting them into jewels and property. The result was inevitable. Good money vanished from circulation, leaving only bad money, accelerating collapse and destroying confidence. But Gresham's slow decay has a violent mirror image, Thiers Law. In moments of crisis, good money drives out bad money. Named after French historian Adolphe Thiers, this law describes the breaking point. In hyperinflation like Weimar Germany in the 1920s or Venezuela today, the national currency disintegrates into worthless paper. People refuse to hold it even briefly. Transactions shift instantly to anything perceived as stable, foreign currency, gold, silver, whiskey, or barter. Good money does not hide. It replaces the bad currency outright. The people reject the state's promise, and the monetary system ceases to function. Gresham is the slow rot. Thiers the stampede to safety. The next set of laws explains why Gresham's decay always hurts unequally. Enter the Cantillon effect, introduced by economist Richard Cantillon in the 18th century. It explains why new money enriches elites first. When central banks inject money, they do not drop it evenly across society. They buy assets, government bonds, securities from large institutions. These initial recipients spend the new money before inflation spreads, buying stocks, real estate, and art at old prices. Asset prices surge, creating windfalls for the wealthy. By the time the money trickles down to workers through wages or savers through bank accounts, the cost of necessities has already risen. The late recipients pay tomorrow's prices with yesterday's money. The Cantillon effect is the silent thief of the middle class, transferring wealth upward under the disguise of economic growth. This unfairness is amplified by financial repression, a strategy governments adopted after World War II to manage colossal debts. Outright default or massive tax hikes were politically impossible, so states devised subtler tools, negative real interest rates and capital controls. Central banks keep nominal interest rates artificially low, below inflation. Imagine earning 1% interest while inflation is 5%. You lose 4% of purchasing power annually. Your savings sit in a rusted cage, safe in appearance but slowly crushed in value. Meanwhile, capital controls prevent citizens from escaping into foreign assets or gold. The system traps savings in low-yield instruments, forcing ordinary people to subsidize government debt. Financial repression is the slow-motion confiscation of wealth from savers to the indebted political class. At the global level, the laws become even more unforgiving. The first trap is Triffin's paradox, identified in the 1960s. Any nation whose currency serves as the world's reserve must sacrifice long-term stability. To supply the world with dollars, the U.S. must run continuous trade deficits, importing goods, exporting dollars. This grants immense power and cheap borrowing, but hollows out domestic industry and piles up debt. If America stops running deficits, the world starves for dollars. If it continues, the flood of dollars erodes confidence and risks collapse. The reserve currency's reign is also its curse. Compounding this is Goodhart's law. When a measure becomes a target, it ceases to be a good measure. Governments obsess over numerical targets, 2% inflation, 3% GDP growth. These metrics should be descriptive, like a compass, but once declared as goals, they distort reality. To hit 2% inflation, central banks suppress interest rates and inflate bubbles. Official numbers look stable, but real costs, housing, education, healthcare, skyrocket. The compass points to prosperity, but lived experience screams hardship. Goodhart's law ensures that managed targets become illusions, prioritizing appearances over genuine stability. Finally, all these laws converge in the brutal arithmetic of debt, the law of diminishing returns on debt. In a healthy economy, borrowing $1 generates $2 or $3 of growth, funding railroads, factories, technology. But as debt accumulates, quality declines. New borrowing funds old debt, social programs, or speculative bubbles. Once debt to GDP exceeds critical thresholds, often around 100%, the relationship inverts. One borrowed dollar yields 50 cents of growth, then less. The economy groans under its liabilities. America's $30 trillion debt demonstrates this law. Borrowing buys less prosperity, only time. These forgotten laws, from Gresham's rot to Cantillon's hidden theft, are not relics. They are the invisible script guiding today's crisis. They explain why record asset prices coexist with eroded savings and blocked mobility. They reveal that the system was never designed for ordinary citizens to win. It funnels new currency to elites through Cantillon's law, then taxes everyone else through repression. Financial education is not about trading stocks. It is about reading this script. It means recognizing that when states debase currency, you must convert wealth into hard assets that cannot be printed. It means understanding that every crisis is also a hidden wealth transfer to those closest to the money source. Ignore these laws and you remain a passenger watching wealth drift away. Recognize them and you step outside the illusion. Money is not just a unit of account, it is a promise. When that promise frays under debt and dilution, history proves the prudent must seek refuge in value backed by scarcity, not faith. The choice is stark: remain a victim of financial laws or master survival by understanding the geology of money.